Alright, today I will show you how to make historical contract calls. So generally on Etherscan you can make read calls to a contract for the current block, but previous blocks you're going to need to use an archival node and make calls using the RPC endpoint. So in this case I'm going to be making calls on Aurora mainnet, but you can do this on any blockchain if you have an API key and a historical or an API key for a historical node. So to start, we're going to download a script that OXB1 wrote, and I'll put the link in the description below. But in my case, I use HTTPS. I'll name it RPC test. Okay, and I like to use code as my VS Code as my software editor. So once it loads up, you can open the script and a terminal in the folder. And you're going to need, as you can see here, we're going to need Web3, JS Web3. So you can, if you don't have it already, you can download it using this command. Obviously, first you're going to need npm installed and node. Okay, now that we have Web3 installed, we can start by inputting our node URL. So right now it's set up to Ethereum mainnet on Infura, but we want to use Aurora mainnet. And I'm not going to put my API key in there because I don't want you guys to use my rate limiting. So I will save that for later, but you would put the API key in this text spot and it will it'll fill in this. So next you want to choose a contract to call. So in this case, I have this contract here. I forget what it is, so we'll take a look. You'll need to go to the block scanner anyway to get the ABI. Okay, so this is a C token for Bastion Protocol, which is a fork of Compound. So the next thing you want to do is grab the ABI. Just come down here and hit copy. And you'll paste that here. You don't need to worry about formatting. Next, you're going to take the contract address, put it right here and right here. And then since we're using Web3, we can actually write out the call that we want to make specifically. So I don't know, oops, I take that back. We don't want to put the address here, that's only for this method. in the old ABI that we just replaced. So in our case, I want to call total supply, and this has no parameters, and it's considered like an ETH underscore call for EVM chains, but you don't need to worry about that there. And then we can specify what block we want to look at. So let's see, this contract was created on this block. So we can't call it before that block, so I'll do this, and we'll look 1,000 blocks in the future from when it was created. So aside from the project ID, we should have everything to make this work. And before I put in the project ID, I'm going to just show you the command that you need to use to run it. Okay, that was kind of embarrassing, but I was mistyping the file name. So you write node and then the file name, so underscore call demo in our case. And here we go, the value returned at this block was 0, so there were no tokens minted at this point. Let's try and actually see a result. Okay, so at this block we can see there's this many minted tokens. Cool. So this is how you do a contract call. One of the other cool things that you can do that it's been useful for me to see like historical returns, so you can edit this a little bit and set a start block. So we want to start it here, and then you want an end block so you're not spamming your RPC API, and we'll end it, I don't know, let's see. Oops. We'll keep it short, and then we'll add an increment. We'll increment it every 1,000 blocks, and make a for loop around the call. Okay, so we will see how this works. Cool. Maybe like a bigger one. Oops. So you can see that it's the same every time. That's because I forgot to put I here to actually change the block that it was calling on. There we go. Now we can see different return values, so that's another cool thing you can do. Thank you for listening, and I hope you learned something.